Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with various wind, and the video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. The tournament we are playing is the Liberty Tournament, and you can find all these holes on tour number 6, the US Champions Tour for the City Park, because that's the full 9 that we are going to play. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. You have a button in the bottom right corner, click it, and also hit that bell button so you get a notification every time we have a live stream and a new video. Also go to golfclashtommy.com, more content for Golf Clash for free. Also get the best guides on the market by going to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Link, you have it down below. Also, can we get this video to 100 likes and 100 thumbs up? Maybe it's the right way of saying that. Would be much appreciated. I'm forever grateful. Use the info box on the right hand side. Get the elevation adjustment that I'm playing with for the drive, for the second shot, for all the shots obviously in this playthrough. Also what type of ball and club I do feel is going to be the most valuable one to use, because using the correct club and ball is going to be super duper valuable if you're going to be a good tournament player. And in the end you might not use the same as I do, but in the end there's always a plan from my end, so listen closely and hopefully you're gonna learn something on the way. In the end though, thank you so much for watching, and let's go to hole number 1. So let's take a look at hole number 1. We're going to play with the the long iron that gives us the most backspin, and it could be the Saturn, it could be the Backbone, it could be the Goliath, it could be, you know, many of them. And it all depends on, once again, what level you have your clubs in. I would prefer to play with minimum 4.5 bar backspin, aiming directly at the green with the ball guideline directly at the hole, at least trying to aim directly at the hole. And then we're going to apply maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. So even though we are not in maximum distance, we're still going to play maximum distance numbers. 10% over adjustment due to the ball being slightly more affected by the wind than normal. Otherwise we would be coming, you know, a little bit off if we wouldn't be use any elevation. Marlin ball, you can play with basic ball as well. You don't really need any specific ball type here on this very easy par 3 to get a birdie on, but a little bit too bumpy to get consistently an hole in one. So let's take a look at the drive, and here you can see that we're playing this one with 3.5 bar topspin, max left spin, and we're trying to get the ball to bounce on that fairway that is in between, you know, in between all the bunkers, I was about to say, but there is so many bunkers. There's 8 bunkers here, 4 on the left side, 4 on the right side, where you have a bumpy, slopey fairway with a lot of glitch roll risks. And that is the thing that I would like you to have in mind here. This is one of the tougher drives that you can do on a par 4. And the reason that is one of the tougher ones is because you don't really know if the ball is going to stop there or it's going to continue to roll, getting a little glitch roll. 10% over adjustment, maximum distance numbers. And for those of you that look closely, I did change to 3 bars of topspin, and I do believe 3 bars of topspin is going to be enough. Because the only thing we're looking for is to get ourselves down the fairway so we can reach with our wood club. The second shot is going to be played without elevation, and I'm looking for the second bounce to be just there on the uphill slope there by the green. So I'm not trying to go bouncing directly up towards the pin, because then the ball is going to come in too hot basically all the time. Adjusting here, I'm adjusting for a medium distance with no elevation, as I did go with a very good drive. But I think the key tip here is to keep the big dog in your bag, because if you do have a very bad drive and you go short, then you do need all the distance that you can get. Obviously the second shot wasn't really good enough, not even close to making an eagle, but for me this is a birdie hole all the way through, and if I would get an eagle here, I'm gonna consider that as a major bonus. This is going to be a hole where we cannot cross the rough. Okay, so even though you might want to say, let's give it a go, please don't, because you will not reach over. So the only thing that you're gonna look for is to get this ball as close down the rough at the top as possible. And for that, we are going to use either the extra mile, the quarterback, the rock, or any type of driver you may have. You can play with whatever driver. I would, however, though, recommend the quarterback a little bit more than I would be doing the extra mile. The reason for that is due to its accuracy and a good ball guideline, and therefore we can follow the, we can have an easier time with a drive by using the ball guideline as a better reference, and also obviously a great left and a great right will not be as affected with a club with a good accuracy. Second shot, we're using no elevation after using 10% over adjustment on the drive. Full top spin, max left spin, and now our plan is to get that ball in between the sand in the middle and also the rough on the right, or basically rough on the left and also on the right. And so we're trying to get the ball up there as far as possible, and the only plan for us here is to look for a good position for our short iron towards the pin, or long iron for that matter, depending on how far you're reaching. If you're reaching up here, it's going to be very close to be in between clubs, as you will be able to see here now. And you can see that I do choose the backbone to play instead of playing with a short iron because the angle was better. And I'm using the back end of the green, as once again my angle is too crappy here. If you do get higher up and have a little bit better clubs, you will get higher up and then you can aim directly at the pin. Otherwise, you can always use the back end of the green to have the ball fall back down. The better ball guideline with your long iron, the better, because now obviously it's a bit of a guesswork when we can't see more than the ball guideline that we did, and therefore we are not gonna be that super close on this hole as well. You may be wondering, a par 5 where we're gonna settle down for a birdie. Yeah, that's gonna be the case in this one. An eagle here is considered as an extra drop, but a couple of key aspects is to play with a power 3 ball, give yourself the distance for the second shot especially, and then we play with the big dog or with any other type of wood club that gives us distance and topspin to gain as much distance possible, because I do believe the second shot is going to be the key to be able to have a good position for the third shot, which are either going to be with a long iron or a short iron. No elevation for the third shot whatsoever, and again, an eagle is considered a bonus, so we can't really complain if getting a birdie from time to time. So let's take a look at hole number 4 here, and we are going to play with a long iron and also a basic ball. Backbone is the club that I'm using due to its very valuable accuracy and ball guideline. If you do have any other club that do have a better accuracy and better ball guideline, that would be the club that I would choose. Once again, the long iron with the best ball guideline and the best accuracy is the club to choose. No spin whatsoever when we do have a little tailwind here, aiming at right side of the pin because the green slopes right to left. So then adjust, and we adjust for maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and we take our shot, it bounces, and you can see that we do get already a little kick left, which in the end makes me know that we are aiming too much to the right, because that little plateau that we're playing at is shooting the ball up to the left. So we need to move a little bit more left with our initial aiming point and still continue to aim right side, and then the ball will jump on the green, roll up towards the pin, and hopefully get in for a hole-in-one. This is one of the easier par 3s in my opinion, and we will see hole-in-ones here. The only thing that can make this one a tricky one is that you're using backspin. That will make you go short, and then you will have a very long putt, and that's going to be difficult then to have to go with overpower. So let's start directly into the action by using 4.5 bar topspin and 2.5 bar side spin to the right. I'm aiming in very close to max distance with my extra mile. And yes, we do need a club that do give us distance here, because the quarterback won't be able to reach to that spot. Adjusting maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and our only plan here is to get this ball to bounce on the fairway over the rough and the sand without clipping the tree. And you can see here, it bounced on the fairway, getting it over, and then we're gonna sit ourselves very nicely for a short iron towards the pin. This is a drive and a hole that we have been playing so many times in tournaments and also in tour play that we do know this one a little bit more than the others. Which means also that we should know that this is an opportunity that we cannot really miss, because we do want to give ourselves an eagle here on hole number 5. Aiming with the ball guideline short of pin, and the reason I do that is to make sure that I'm not going to come in too hot. And using the first bounce on the fairway above the rough before the fringe and the green starts, and you can see on the ball guideline that I am aiming slightly to the right side of the pin, not outside the cup, but outside the pin to the right. This because there is a little, a little tiny plateau just before the pin that will take the ball a little bit to the left. And that's something that only comes, obviously, from knowing and playing this hole for many, many times. A great ball takes a roll around the cup, and we don't get it in, but with a perfect ball, we will most likely see ourselves getting an eagle here on hole number 5. No matter what, though, no matter what you think about this hole, if you're going to have anything to do with winning the tournament, you will have to drop an eagle on hole number 5. So let's start off with the drive here. Power 3 ball is something that I would like you to have, not just for the drive, especially for the second shot. 4.5 bar topspin, and we're using 4.5 bar side spin to the left. And you can see there is a little sticky spot there on the right side of the fairway, and that's kind of where we do want to position ourselves. Maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment is what I'm looking for here. And as you can see that we do need a little bit extra distance from where we are at, which means that I will adjust and then I will push up my club into max once I'm done. And that I do to prevent myself from having to go with overpower, because going with overpower is always going to include some sort of risk. So if we can stay away from that, we're at least lower the risk that we do need to take. We're getting the ball nicely down there, and one extra little lesson for those of you playing with, maybe not with an XMI level 5, that depending on what type of driver you're having, you can obviously get different distance, but you especially have different amount of topspin to use. So if having more topspin than 4.5 bars, which many of you will have, then make sure to not use more than 4.5 bars topspin, because otherwise you will risk going too long. Playing with a power 4 or a power 5 ball will be really beneficial if possible. You will notice here in the video that playing with a power 3 ball is no problem. Sure, it's going to be tough, but playing with a power 4 or a power 5 ball will make sure that you will not have to, push up your club into a high position or even go with overpower for the second shot. So power 4 ball or a power 5 ball if you can, but I totally understand that you might not able to do that because you might not have those type of balls. Adjust without elevation, and we're using 4 bars of backspin, a little side spin to the left to counteract the push that we're having from bouncing there on the fairway. And then we will get ourselves very close, and in this case we're getting it in the hole for an albatross. Not something that I count on replicating all the time, but the possibility is there, and it's going to be a tough par 5 here on hole number 6 for the City Park. So we're going to start off here by playing with a quarterback. First, you need to have in mind, it's not gonna snow when we're gonna play, so this is an older recording of this hole. 4 bars of topspin, max side spin to the left. So as much side spin that you possibly can to the left. And then we're going to look at the ball guideline. We do want the tip of the ball guideline to go straight down the middle on the left hand side, so we're not going to see the ball guideline towards the sand or anything like that. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and as you can see here, I'm using a little curl left, but I would say that the curl is not really necessary here when we do play with a side spin 3 ball. But if we do play with a side spin 2 ball, I would definitely say that we do need to play with a little bit of curl to just kick our ball into the left. You might look at that drive as, oh, why don't we play straight forward to the right? Or like straight forward combined to the right. The reason we're not going to do that is because then the second shot is going to be as our opponent's shot is, just that we're going to have a wood club instead. and then we're not going to be able to aim directly at the pin. So therefore we're playing left, giving ourselves an opportunity from the left hand side by using a wood club aiming directly at the pin. So this is a par 4 where I do believe we're going to see some eagles, but it's not going to be an easy hole to get them. One thing to also mention when it comes to the drive, if you do have a straight tailwind, then you are able to use a power 4 or a power 5 ball to then carry over the rough, and then to bounce by the bunkers and then try to get ourselves into long iron range. It's gonna be difficult, and you need to have a lot of, a decent amount of luck for that one to happen, but it is a possibility. Now, second shot, it is a little glitchy green, as all of the City Park holes has, which is gonna make obviously this hole a bit difficult. I would, however, though, recommend to go more left and use more side spin to the right, so we're not aiming as close to the right hand side as I'm doing there, because the glitchy spots are going to be more on the right hand side there instead of on the left hand side, as I previously said. The ball comes in here towards the green, and again it is a glitchy spot and we don't get the ball towards the pin, so we can't really blame the ball for going short, because we should have adjusted and aimed at a different position. No elevation though when you play with the Sniper or the Viper, the club that gives you the best accuracy and also the best ball. Let's take a look at hole 8, and you're gonna see the same shot twice, just because it's gonna go fairly quick. First and foremost, we're looking for a club that gives us minimum 4.5 bar backspin. And the reason we're looking for that minimum is because we do need to get the ball to stop. So we're using a backspin shot here directly on the green. Sure, you can bounce from the first fairway over to the other one, but the reason I don't really want to do that is because that fairway is not flat at all, and that's just going to give yourself an insane bounce, and it's going to be luck all the way through. Adjusting maximum distance +10, and here I'm using 5.5 bar backspin, and you can see that we're coming a little bit too high up, but the ball falls down as I wanted to. And you will notice that the ball will come in maybe a little bit too hot from time to time, but that is something that we do need to handle. So long iron with the most distance possible. You may be wondering what to do if you do have a headwind, because with a power 1 ball we will go in between clubs. Then we need to go up and play with a power 3 ball, or even like power 2 or power 3 ball, or maybe power 4, power 5, depending on what you do have in your bag. But we do need more power than power 1. So that is the final tip there I would like to say, that we do need to have that, because we would never want to overpower a shot on a par 3. So let's start off with the drive here, and we're going to use a side spin 3 ball. Okay, so max side spin, 3 bars of top spin. Look now with my position here, my only focus is to have the second bounce to be clearly above the rough, approximately 1 ring above the rough. Because if we are not having that type of focus, we are going to find ourselves in a very, very tough position when it comes to taking the shot, because then we will be most likely rolling into the rough on the top left. Adjustment is going to be max minimum distance with a 5% over adjustment, and last but not least we're going to apply half a ball of curl outside the adjustment range to the right. This is a very technical and also in some sort difficult drive, but I will have to say that if you are going to choose between going right like we did or going left, you need to choose right all the time, because from the left you will not have an opportunity for the pin, and then you only play for a birdie. For an eagle. But here, if going on the right hand side, we will then, with the big dog or with a high level sniper level 9+, be able to reach to this fairway platform to bounce over towards the pin. Obviously, with the big dog level 3, the ball guideline is like non-existent basically, so this is just a lot of guesswork in terms of how the ball guideline is going to be by the green. But the thing that we do know though is that we're playing uphill, so the ball is going to be affected less by the wind. -10% is the elevation that I'm using, meaning that the ball once again is affected less by the wind, so we do need to subtract 10% from our original adjustment. Big dog is used to give ourselves the distance, and then in the end we get that one super hot at the pin, but dropping it for an Albatross. You can see as well that I do suggest a power 3 ball in the info box. A Katana is definitely a stretch in my opinion, but a power 3 ball would be better. Kingmaker, Titan, or something like that. If you have a couple of Kingmakers to spare, then a Kingmaker would be better due to its side spin 3. But otherwise, I would value power, especially if I do have side spin 2. So I don't have any issues, even if I clip the rough and roll for a short drive, then I won't be having any issues to reach for the green in 2, because we don't want to play with such a close line and then don't have coverage when it comes to making a bad drive and a short drive. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division with various type of wins here for the Liberty Tournament. Video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and make sure you get one of the packages on Patreon and get to improve your game already today. Make sure you comment in the comment section below if you do have any questions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, can we get a thumbs up? That would be much appreciated. Thank you so much once again for watching. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Good luck in the Liberty Tournament.